Welcome to STL City Showdown. I'm AJ, and this is Steve here, and we're both really excited, just like every other fan. Betcher for president. Woo! He scored again. He's going to be our new DP signing. You know it's going to happen. Okay, yeah. Okay, but we're joking. We're joking, but you literally, we're looking at our phone, and we're seeing comments about, like, you know, giving Betcher the keys to the city. Yep. It's kind of crazy. I don't want to be too negative, though, because this was a great win. So, dude, how you feeling, Steve, today?
I don't even know, man. Like, it's so weird. Like, I love the fact that the team won. Like, we should be happy the team won. But I said it pre-production. I feel like someone in the front office made a deal with the monkey paw, and the fist is closing. The fist is closing. You don't get this kind of luck. I've seen too many movies, I read too many books. You don't get this kind of luck without something happening. How are you going to beat San Jose and now Houston with half a team? Like, Cinderella season if we make the playoffs. Unbelievable.
Yeah. And to be honest, guys, like, we're not trying to be negative, right? Like, this is it's a great win. It's a nice 3 points. We were just kind of talking because we're in still sixth place, right?
Yep.
But we play Dallas, who's in fifth place next week. And if we win, we clearly go into fifth place. And there's a possibility, Steve, check this out. There's a possibility that if we win, we could theoretically make it to third place. Third place. Now, what's nuts about this, at the beginning of the season, Steve, if I told you that we had a chance to get third place, what would you have told me? And try not to make me have to edit this.
I would have said you're blooping crazy. Especially since I predicted this team's going to finish in 12th. I will say that if we lose and the teams below us win, we could fall down to, looks like, maybe 8th place. So even if we lose and everyone below us wins, it's not going to blow us out of the water because we have 33 points and down to 10th place. So I guess we could, because we'll just slide down to like 8th place or so. Like, well, no, San Diego would be jumping, but I think we'll be 8th or 9th place or so. Like, even then, it's not going to be the end of the world. And that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
But it feels like we're on borrowed time. It honestly does. It feels like we're on borrowed time.
Now, let me ask you, Steve, let's be honest here. So, like, we're kind of looking at this, you know, we're going to jump here because we're going to go to our second segment here because this is the perfect transition for us. So, basically, this is almost like a 2026 honeymoon, or is this something real? Like, is this actually what it really is?
Right. So, before we get too going, so my side of the river in Illinois, we started school over 2 weeks ago. And you guys over there on the dark side of the Mississippi, you guys are starting school this week. And so we were wanting to have a back to school themed episode. And so everything we're going to do is kind of based around school based stuff. And what AJ mentioned, the honeymoon, you know, those of you that have been to school, maybe your teachers, the honeymoon phase is what we call, and you guys can kind of picture this as you're listening. When a new student starts, when we come back from school, when we come back from a break, there's that period of time where everything's just kind of chill. The kids are still happy to be there. No boredom's kind of set in. The teachers are still happy to be there as well. And we call it the honeymoon because you kind of think back, getting married, that's what honeymoon is. Everything's great. And then usually something boom, 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 boom happens. But what's awesome is you don't know you're in the honeymoon phase until it's over. And you look back and you go, well, that was the honeymoon phase. And so we're wondering, are we in that phase right now? Or is this what we are? So that's kind of what we were talking about. And I have to think we are. I have to think we're in Ray's honeymoon phase right now. Like something is just it's. Do you remember way back in a little year we call 2023, where this team won 5 in a row? We blasted off and everything was perfect. I would say that entire season was a honeymoon phase where the league didn't know how to respond to us. Everything was kind of gelling, and before it all fell apart. I wonder if we're kind of in that same kind of mode where we're just kicking everything weird off and kind of starting fresh. Like maybe this team is just kind of gelling along right now. I don't know. What do you think?
I don't. Maybe we're not though. So I think there is to some extent, right? Because we have 12 games of undefeated, so no losses in 12 games, and I can't remember if that includes the Open Cup game, but still, the point
12,
is,
it does, yes,
it does. Okay, perfect. So we'll say 11 MLS games because that's what I like to count personally.
Yeah.
So realistically, that's not going to be sustainable. Like we're not going to finish off the season with no losses, right? Like there's going to be losses that are going to happen, right? But my question though is can we sustain at a high clip and making 1.8 points per game, something like that? I think there's a chance. I'm actually pretty impressed because I don't know if I said this on air or if this was our pre-production time. I said that if we're going to win this game, which we did, that it's going to be credit due to May for figuring out how to combat Houston. I'm not saying the players don't get credit because they performed well. They definitely did. But to be honest, our players aren't probably the same quality as Houston, right? As far as skill levels. But it's the system, it's the tactics that I think made the difference. And because of that, I think there's a chance that we could actually see some good games. Now, the question is this is the big thing, is now we've had Steve, this boggles my mind right here, right? So we had Kloss leave in October of last year, November, something like that. We've had Hartle leave.
So no, December, yeah.
Right there. Yeah. Then we had Hartle leave. Okay. So that was, he was kind of the heart and soul of our team as far as like quality and everything. And then there was a lot of talk about Leuven leaving. I thought this was going to be at the end of the year or something like that, but no, he's leaving now, which is just an absolute heartbreaker, to be honest.
Oh yeah.
That's 3 great players from our team. And Hulsa looks like he's going to be pretty damn decent, but is he going to compensate for the loss of all 3 of those?
No.
That's where we're going to have to see is can Demay somehow make magic happen?
You know,
I don't know. I'm a little bit more maybe optimistic than you, but I see what you're saying too.
Also, I wonder, the team most likely knew that Hartle was gone, and they most certainly knew about Leuven leaving. So what if the team was putting their 100%, 105% effort, putting their best effort in to kind of show these guys out? And we saw that Leuven stuck around, and you say he came out, banged the drum. I saw a picture of him out there clapping. What if this was like the emotional push for the team? And what happens now that 2 big stars are gone? These guys are gone. They have, what are they really like? I mean, if that's the case, I don't know. I don't really know if I believe that myself, but that could explain like the sudden burst of energy and like being able to do these things. And
almost like a new coach bump of sorts, but like, hey, let's see Leuven out kind of thing.
You know, when someone in your office leaves, everyone's kind of weird around them for a couple days, their last little bit, and everyone's really happy to be around them, and energy in the office kind of picks up. And then once that person is gone, there's a lull because you spent so much energy with that person, and now you don't have to anymore. And so like, yeah, now like, oh, Hulsa's here. Okay, he's not Leuven. He's not been here for 3 years. You know, I'm just like, yeah, what if that could be a case? What if that's happening?
Here's the other thing I wonder too is every team, I don't care if it's the best team in the world, every team is going to have a period of time where you hit troubles, right? Maybe you get 2 or 3 losses in a row. This happens to every team. But the thing is good teams bounce back. Now, with all our big players leaving, right? Especially Hartle, because it's like when times got tough, you could always count on Hartle to somehow make something happen, right? The question is who do we have now? Like, is there that defined leader?
Right.
The
And then,
defined kind of talent, the proven talent.
Who's gonna pump up the locker room when there is adversity? When we are in a 2-game losing stretch again, when we are in a 3-game losing stretch again, who's going to be in the locker room to motivate the players? And who can give a connection to the city now other than, well, Berkey? I guess Perez has been on the team, but he was like a kind of like a minor player. But I think that might be it. I think it might just be Perez and Berkey from the OG team now on this squad, because it was Leuven holding on. So I don't, oh, God, Justin Hebert. This guy will always be on this team. Kyle Hebert. I don't know
He's
his
not
damn
even
name.
on
It's
the
Kyle
game day
Hebert.
roster.
It's Kyle Hebert. He's always going to be on this team. He's going to be 75 years old, and they're like, that guy's still keeping up? Yeah,
I totally forgot about him.
So does
I totally forgot about him.
He's been on the bench every game. He's always there, and he's been here. I got to go over and look at my 23 poster, but I'm pretty sure he's on. It's right up there. I'm pretty sure he's on that poster as well. This cat will always be here. But anyway, yeah. So like, who is going to say, hey guys, let's, I've been through this. We've in this city, I can tell you how this is going to be solved. And that's going to be interesting, because it's going to take a strong leader, because we're not really going through any adversity right now, other than the players leaving. But like, the team as a whole isn't really going through a ton right now. And we've gotten good wins, lucky wins. What's going to happen when we get that bad red card called, or we get a handball call, or bad shit happens to us? Because this is what I'm talking about, the monkey paw. This isn't going to always be sunshine. It's just not. And that's why I wish it would end soon, as opposed to 13 games and all of a sudden we
Are you a pessimistic fan just because of last year, because we were so bad that we're just conditioned to lose?
Right.
Or is this a lifelong sports fan coming out?
I am 45 years old. I have been through so many emotional. I've said it before on this podcast. 2005, I wept in my basement when the Cardinals lost in the NLCS. I was so emotionally charged, and I was just like, I was so confident this team was going to do well. I was a super fan. It didn't make sense to me. I couldn't make sense of the world. And that was the last time I made myself promise. That was the last time I ever shed a tear over a sports team. And I'm more reasonable now that it's just going to happen. And it's great when it doesn't, but it's just going to. And I'm going to protect myself. I'm not going to put myself out there for a sporting team. I'm just not, because, yeah, I think you're right. That's a lifelong sports fan. I've seen way too much. I have seen the Rams be horrible from 93 to 98. Then all of a sudden they blow out and they win the Super Bowl in 99. And then it's just never the same after that. Like,
yeah, that's got to be, by the way, on the side note, the Rams Super Bowl year has got to be one of the top years in St. Louis history. I'm not saying like the top, but holy moly, that was such an amazing year. So Steve, let's do our first game here. You ready for our little whistle? Woo! Oh,
I was ready.
That's the wrong one. Yeah. Oh man, sound effect episode. Okay, so anyways, let's do our first game. You want to tell us about it?
Yeah, so part of being in school, of course, is we have to make sure that we are keeping good data on the students and making sure that we are seeing things appropriately or evaluating appropriately. So our evaluators here are going to be AJ and I. We're going to go through. We're going to give some grades. We haven't given grades in a while, so we got the report card out. We're writing some things. We've got student name is St. Louis City SC. Today's date is 8/22. Evaluator AJ and Steve, and then we're gonna kind of look at the team, and we're gonna go. Let's talk about your offense. Here's the grade we're gonna give your offense for tonight. And AJ, I look over at you and I'm like, Mr. J.
Oh, I think for this I can't give them an A. I'm sorry. It wasn't A quality. I think we had two good goals, but there wasn't a sustained offense. I like much like what Houston did, right? Like they were constantly attacking. That's something I wanted to see, right? Because to some extent, you have to create your own luck, and we did get lucky. I feel like, but I would say probably a B, not a B minus, not a B plus, but a B. Like they deserved it. They did make the goals, so I 100% give them the credit. But if you take those two goals out, right? I can't. Would you say that offense was even A quality? No. So that's why they get a B. That's why they get a B. And I'm a tough grader, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yes, I totally agree with that. So I am looking at your game tonight, and I agree with my evaluator. I am going to also grade you a B. Your goals were nice, although you had to rely on your defense for one goal. So I would say that your offense, yeah, solid B. Now let's looking at you, defense. I just mentioned your name back there. Let's look at your grade. I am going to grade your defense tonight. You did give up a goal. Let's be honest. It wasn't a pretty goal. But you recovered well and you scored. You helped the offense. That's great, defensive line. I'm gonna give the defense an A minus tonight. You did your best. Good job, kids.
Interesting. A minus. Okay. They can't get an A plus because it wasn't a clean sheet, right? They had one mishap. I can't give them an A minus though. I have to give them at least an A because yes, they did give up a goal, but they had such an onslaught the entire time.
Yeah.
But yet still held true except for one instance.
Yeah.
You know, and we'll get to where the failure was, but they held true for so long. I don't have a stat here about how long they spent in their own half, but the field tilt was definitely against us. So they get an A, just a straight A, neutral A.
Excellent. So offense and defense doing pretty well tonight. Midfield. Oh, I'm going to reserve my grade after Mr. AJ. So, Mr. AJ, what would you give the midfield tonight?
So both, because midfield kind of goes both ways, right? Like offensive, like build up, and then also defensively. I have to give them a C. We lost way too many balls in midfield. I just felt like we didn't hold on to it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we missed Hartle coming back and playing in midfield a little bit to help with that progression at times. Not having Leuven there, which he really does help solidify because there's times when it gets really busy in the midfield and Leuven has the ball, he usually makes really good decisions. I felt like we've really missed that, to be honest. Defensively, like not too bad because they're part of that defense too, but I would have to say C.
Yep. So for my evaluation, it's kind of hard for me to evaluate because I don't have my starting usual staff here. I have a couple subs in for today. Literal substitute players in here. I've got St. Ben for Leuven and Ostrak's filling in for a suspended, if you will, Durkin. But even though they were there, they were supposed to be there, they signed up for the position, they definitely were not great tonight. I was also going to give them a C. Really leaky, really led to some kind of unfortunate opportunities for the ball to get through the midfield and into that defensive set. So Ostrak did not look good tonight. Ostrak was not great. I think we're seeing why maybe he is definitely not a starter on this team. St. Ben, you can't really fault him too much. He's been subbing quite a bit. He's been our substitute a little too much, our regular, and hopefully he gets a break coming up because he was a little bit gassed out there. So a C. Now on to our coach.
Okay.
Coach, and I'm looking over there. I don't give this just to anybody, but you've earned this, and I pull out my sticker book and I peel off a gold one and I stick it right there on his chest. And I give him a pat on the shoulder. Atta boy, you got out there and you showed him what's up. And I just sit back and I don't even give my grade because that was it.
Ooh, the little gold star.
Yes, the gold star. It's on my sheet of gold stars, and that's the first gold star I've pulled off in years. I pop right on him because of the fact that he was able to manage this game plan and he had a script that was a lot better than last week. And it actually showed some creativity and showed some planning and showed a way to exploit their weaknesses. I mean, Paul Vera being able to move down there. Now, that goal he made where it just happened to take a good deflection off of a Houston player, but he was there and that's training and that's practicing that play. He moved up and he was in the right spot and he scored that goal. And that was his first goal, by the way. And he scored that goal. And that's positioning and that's training. And this coach managed to beat at that time, the number one team in the West. So got to give him the A+ gold star. What about you?
I was going to also give him an A too. I don't know when it was decided that Leuven was going. Like, I don't know if this was like the Sunday, Monday. I'm sorry, not Sunday, Monday. Like if this was like Thursday or Friday, or if this was something that was kind of brewing even before the Wednesday game. Especially if this occurred last minute. If this was something that occurred today or even yesterday, I mean, coaching would have had to rapidly pivot and say, oh, crap, we got to change our whole game plan. So I think, unfortunately, this transfer window, the front office, put him in a little bit of a bind.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. But he adapted. And you know what the thing is with his system definitely is truly, because you hear every team say next man up and all that crap, right? But this system truly can compensate for loss of an individual player because it's more about the team than it is the individual players. I'll give you an example, right? Here's a classic player-dependent system. Imagine Argentina during the World Cup, right? If Messi got hurt, it changes everything because basically the whole team's design was 10 players defending and basically get the ball to Messi and score, right? Like it's very dependent. That's not the case with City. And Deme has done a really good job at taking what little he's had and making it turn into some kind of gold. And case in point was this. He didn't have Leuven, he didn't have Hartle, but yet he still could go up against a big dog like Houston. And guess what? This was not because Houston was playing bad. You know, there's times where teams just have a bad game and you just take advantage of it. No, Houston played well tonight.
Yeah. City
100% earned it. And this is largely due to Deme and his system. So, A.
Yep. I'll tell you what. So, you're a good kid. One of our rubrics we look at is classroom effort. At this school we grade on entertainment value. So, let's grade the team on effort and entertainment value kind of together. So your entertainment value for tonight and your effort, the entertainment was, I would say, a B. Like we came out there with the win. There were some exciting moments. There was a lot of low moments for tonight, but you guys did good. I would say you get a B. You get a B from Mr. Steve here. So for entertainment value, how would you grade this team for tonight?
I'm going to say A- solely because of the win, because we've kind of talked about this before. Like you can have a quote unquote boring game. And then once you get that win, not a draw or loss, once you get the win, it's just automatically better, right? Because it was hard fought and you just got that one hard fought goal. Great. Right. Honestly, like if we had lost, it would have been like a D because we spent so much time on defense. We barely could get out of our half. Right after we scored that first goal, the momentum maps swung right in Houston's direction. And it was just a constant onslaught.
Yeah.
There wasn't a lot of shots on goal that were, truly like threatening. Like it wasn't one of those games. It kind of like Hitch. You remember Hitch? It seemed like there was always a lot of fun shots on goals, whether or not they went in. God. It was entertaining though, right? So because of the win, I have to say A-. I can't give it lower.
Yeah, and having that goal, Pulvera's goal, come at the 85th minute, like that was a dagger.
Yeah.
That's like peak suspenseful entertainment to kind of push it over the edge. The game's at the end, and then that we did that a lot last year. That's how we got a few of our wins. Was came at the very end, 88th minute. I remember us scoring, and that was well. All right. Do we want to? Yeah. So I think that so let's give this team, before we wrap this up, let's give this team right now throughout this entire school year our overall grade at this moment. So looking at the season in its entirety right now, I'm going to grade this team because I'm a hard grader. I don't like these flashes that this team is showing. I don't know if it's 100% sure. I'm going to go ahead and grade from what I've seen this team this year a C. You're a solid team. Still got some holes to fill. I don't think that this team has it all together just yet. So I'm going to grade this team a C. C's get degrees.
Wow. So I'm going to be way more optimistic than you. I'm going to have to say B+ for the overall team. I get that we started rough, and I think that we underperformed, and there was some coaching transition and learning the system, but they've learned the system, and yes, they might be overperforming now, so that's why I'm not giving them an A. I think, we're in freaking 5th place, right? Or 6th place, right? Like, how can we ignore 6th place? Like, that's amazing, right? Like, teams would kill to be in that place. Like, look at poor Kansas City, right? Like, they would kill to be in that place.
Yeah. I would argue.
Yeah, you're right. They're not poor. Who cares?
Right. I would argue that if, as a building administrator, if I had the opportunity and I had the money to pay for good staff and updated staff, and I chose not to, people might look at me like I was a weird person. People might look at me like, all right, Steve, what do you have up your sleeve? Are you waiting to bring in a new person as the year goes on? Then I'll say, no, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to fire my 2 best teachers, and then we're going to see what happens. No, people would think I'm a maniac.
Well,
I'm a maniac, or I am lazy and asleep at the wheel. This team gets a C, or I'm going to give this team a D if you don't shut your mouth, because this is no way a well-run team. No way it's just a well-run team. If we're not bringing in anyone really high quality and we're letting everyone else just kind of leave, what are we doing? And we're just, okay, you're going to keep me rolling again. This is going to be another hour-long podcast.
I know. Jeez, Steve.
Listen, take the win. I'm excited about the win. There's a rake in the yard, and we're blindfolded walking around right now. That's what I'm going to say.
Okay. Well, let's go to our next game.
We've all seen Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy and what happens when the captain steps off that ship. We've all seen it. We know what happens. It's going to happen to us.
That was a fun segment. I love grading, and grading usually goes over well for people. I'm kind of curious to see what other people are thinking. So hopefully, even if you guys don't comment or anything, like telepathically, like as you guys were like listening, maybe you guys can tell us what you guys were rating it. All right, Steve.
Especially when you agree with all of my grades and you think AJ's is dumb.
Oh. Okay, Mr. Glass Half Empty.
Listen, the glass isn't even, there's no water in the glass right now. Right now, the glass is tipped over and there's a puddle on top, and the team's going, look at all that water in that glass. No. You got to look at it from the top. Look at it from the top. Don't look at it from the side. Look at all that water in the glass. And we're all like, oh, there's so much water in that glass. But then they're going to knock it over on the way out, take our money with them. See, I'm an optimist.
Dang, dude.
I'm an optimist.
Sure. Hey, Steve.
2013, the Cardinals. Go back. If anyone doubts me, 2013, we made the NLCS. People thought that Cardinals team was going to make it to the World Series against the Dodgers. No. But everyone was shocked right around Halloween when we got knocked out by the Dodgers. Everyone was like, what? And the whole city was sad. And not me. I was like, something didn't feel right. Sorry.
Mm.
Last
No,
name.
you're okay, dude. So as Steve had mentioned, he's been a teacher for a while. I was a teacher for 2 years, but I guess I was smart enough to get out. Oh my gosh, that was 2 tough years. Anyways, so Steve, we were kind of talking if we had to kind of build a high school. So like if all our players went to high school again, who would they be, right? So tell us about our next game here.
Well, okay. Let's see. So this next game is if you guys know what a superlative, easy for you to say, it's when you assign a kind of like a title to someone based on the description. So like basically the one you hear all the time is the most likely to succeed, which was definitely not me. It may have been AJ. Mine would have been like most likely to be on a milk carton, like that would have been me. So, different paths, and that's okay. We're all
Yeah.
loved here. We're all loved here except for Kansas City. All right. So we're basing our superlatives, our building our high school around, again, kind of like this week, back to school theme. So we're gonna start here. And then when we're thinking about building the high school, we think about like some of like the more important people. So let's look at the valedictorian. So this will be like the man of the match, if you will. Who is the absolute best player from today? And why do you feel that way? Who is our valedictorian of this match?
Man, this is a tough one. I mean, who do you feel like? I'm kind of bouncing between. Like, I don't have a clear winner. I know the city app people with man of the match. Yeah. I think it was Polvera.
That was 95% Polvera, which I think if they were to release that poll, it's hard because you got to do it right towards the end of the match. But like, it's hard because on Fop Mob, also Polvera was man of the match because he scored. But
right.
I test the player that I saw most often passing, causing chaos, getting in there with the blocks was Totland. So for me tonight, Totland was my man of the match, my valedictorian, because without him, at least one of those goals wouldn't have happened. And he was instrumental in making sure other goals didn't happen. He was all over the field. Like, I want to check his heat map, but yeah, his heat map, he was all over that right side of the field, all up and down it. And he played this position very well tonight. So for me, it's not going to be sexy because he's not on like the big stat sheet, but for me, it's Totland for sure. My valedictorian man of the match, which I get. I'm going against the grain because the emotional city app, and kind of like the analytical Fop Mob kind of agree that Polvera was the man of the match, but not me. All right. Who's yours?
Yeah. So I'm kind of torn, right? So like, I like Totland. I thought he did pretty well. Baumgartel and I think Polvera. I think those three, it's kind of a toss up to me because our defense was just so stout that I could argue with that. Now, I guess you could make an argument that the goal is kind of maybe a tiebreaker, but you know me, like when it comes to rating players, I feel like if somebody scores a goal, they jump ahead like 2 points. You know what I mean? Like it overinflates it. And especially, I just don't like doing that. I will say honorable mention. I did see a lot of Valm playing. It seemed like he was very involved. I don't know if I would put him in that top tier list, but compared to where he was at the beginning of the year, where he was a liability, I felt like he was actually an asset for this game, I would say.
Dude, we've said that now multiple games for him. He is improving.
Yeah. So if I have to pick, I probably have to say Polvera, but I think it's a toss up between Baumgartel, Polvera, and Totland.
Yeah. I mean,
to be honest.
I wish we could say like the valedictorian group, like, because a lot of schools now, they don't do a valedictorian, like, because of the fact that it is so a lot of times subjective. They just have that cum laude, magna cum laude, which a lot of students can get. So we said like the defensive, that back line or the defensive side of the field, because they truly were higher. Like, okay, how about the teacher's pet? The player that seemed to do just perfect out there tonight. Maybe DeMay's like, I love you, or he just was always in the right spot. Who was the teacher's pet tonight?
I'm gonna have to say Baumgartel. He's always on the field. He's never missed a game, kind of thing. Um, and I know he may hit a few of these potentially, depending on what we pick here. But I would say him. I would say Berkey actually surprisingly might be also on there too, because there's one thing that managers love is saves. No goals happening. And Berkey definitely got his mitts on a couple here. So I'd have to say one of those two, but I'm going to go with Baumgartel. So I have a definitive answer.
I think it's going to be defensive tonight. I was torn between again, Totland, but I'm like, I just did Totland. So I actually thought maybe Berkey. Berkey wasn't perfect tonight, but his saves, his xGOT was 1.54 and his goals prevented was 0.54. So he only had 3 saves, but he had 3 saves. And so I think that's a rough one for me, but I'll just go Berkey just to get it a little different. All right. So I like this one's really cool. So this one, if you listeners don't know, in high school you can take, it's called an AP class. It's called an advanced prep class, and my sons have doing it where basically you're taking college credit class in high school. And it's wild because it's a tougher class. Plus you have a test you have to take at the end. That's a college level test of your senior year. And you can go through this entire class, this AP really tough class. But if you don't get a good score on this AP test, you don't get any credits, any college credits for this class. And so it's a super, super tough class. And so our next one is AP class credit. So who's the player that outclassed the competition, or we'll say really rose to the occasion against a really hard team, which this is what this was tonight. This was a very hard team. So what player or member of the team rose to the occasion tonight? For me, I'm going to say
Rose.
If I can go non-player, I've already given.
Oh, absolutely.
I've already given DeMay a gold star. That's the best. It's better than an AP class. It's a gold star. We all want them. But I mean, Edelman rose to the occasion today. You know what? I'm going to give it to Vollum just because he has been so kind of derided this year. And we've been hard on him, and it's been a difficult run. And he was out there, and he did good tonight. So I'm going to give my AP class credit to Vollum because it was a first place team. Team could have folded. He didn't. What about you?
I'm going to say Totland because there was a lot of times down the left line that, on offense, he was getting in good positions. He was receiving the ball. He was acting almost like a winger as opposed to a wing back. I felt like he did a pretty good job at managing that. So I'm going to say Vollum, or not Vollum, Totland. Vollum is a good choice too, but I think Totland hands down because he seemed like he was pretty active. Like you said, if you look at his heat map, he was all over the place there. He seemed like he was trying to make some stuff happen on the left side. If you look at the statistics, let's see. I don't see any statistics. Let's see. He chances created. He had one good chance created. Accurate passes, 86%. That's above average. I just felt like he did well. Ground duels, 75%. Yeah. I'll take it. Yeah, so we'll go with that.
Good. All right. This next one, I really like this one. Perfect attendance.
This is easy. Easy.
We might have differing ones here. So let me read the description, bucko. So
fine.
Perfect attendance. I want to say they should have played close to every minute tonight. They covered as much property as possible. and they put in an 8 out of 10 performance. So which one was your easy one? You thought it was so easy. It was a no-brainer.
This is easy. Baumgartel, like, he has perfect attendance because he's playing every single game. You look at the heat map, he's all up the center, right? So defensively, and then also progressing the ball. I don't know how many touches he had this game, but I bet you 82 touches. I mean, that's great. Like, he definitely is super important to the back line. He's super important to the build-up. I mean, who else could you put in here?
Well, we're not, because I actually have Baumgartel as well, because he played the entire match. I looked at his heat map, and it's insane because if you look, those of you that can see, that's the defensive side, and it actually encroached onto the offensive side. He basically covered the entire defensive pitch, and he had 82 touches tonight, so he was all over. And yeah, he is definitely in the running for the man of the match. I think if it wasn't Tallinn, Baumgartel should have gotten it, but yeah. So I think we both agreed there.
Look,
all right, let's see.
Accurate passes 94%, by the way.
Yeah, we've got some
legit
really good players. Let's do okay. Let's do caught cheating. So I actually, a couple years ago, I caught a student cheating in class. Caught her dead to rights. I could see her looking on another student's paper, and I gave her a 0, and I gave her an academic warning because of the cheating. And her parents called a meeting with my principal, and I was a teacher at the time, and they challenged me in front of the principal, and I looked him right in the eye. I said, "I saw your daughter cheat." And they were just screaming at me, and my principal would not defend me. At the end, he's like, "We have to make sure we really saw." I'm like, "I saw with my own eyes, and I documented it." So, but for tonight, the caught cheating is egregious dives, simulation drama, egregious dives, or we'll just go egregious. We don't need anything else, and I think it's 100% clear. Simon Betcher, you are caught cheating. You did it again tonight. It was ridiculous. Who do you got?
And
is it Betcher?
Yeah. So there's a lot of players, and I get it, right? Part of the game is trying to draw fouls. The only problem is that I felt like this ref was not giving fouls.
Oh, he was,
and unfortunately yeah. So the problem is when players just try to draw too many fouls, it just becomes super ineffective. Like, you have to choose and be a little bit more, exercise some discretion on when you're going to do it. I felt like there was times where if he just challenged the ball, or if he didn't play for the foul, that maybe he could have made a play on the ball. But yeah, I would say, like, and I give him trouble. I give him credit. Like, he does a pretty good job, right? He actually does a pretty good job at drawing fouls a lot, but not with this ref. So this ref just would not have it.
Yeah. It always looks ridiculous, but it was, excuse me, it was stark tonight. All right. I mean, other than, I don't really, you know what? So normally we would probably give Dame the forgot your homework, because he keeps forgetting to do his subs on time. But he's really gotten better, hasn't he? Like, you were actually subbing when we're accustomed to seeing subs. He's not making these guys run out there for 82 minutes before he decides to call his first sub anymore. We're seeing these 60 minutes.
Yeah. I don't know. Last game, though, and I know we're talking about this game, but last game, he had a obviously horribly gassed Sang Ben, and he kept him out for an extra, I think it was 15 minutes. So I don't know if he's learned yet, or I just think he's a little too cautious and a little too shy, because I get it. We don't have a lot of depth, but you can't keep somebody who's gassed out there. I will say this game, he did a good job with his subs, though.
Okay.
So I'll give him some credit.
All right. I think that's it for that one.
Okay. You ready for our fate? Yeah, you really want that transition, right?
I need it in my life now.
Okay. There's your callback
There it
from
is.
last episode.
It's always
Okay,
gonna be
so our
there.
favorite segment, our favorite segment, goal or no goal. Steve, do you have the first goal or no goal?
Oh, just wait. Okay.
There's a lot of good ones.
On Discord, trademark on Discord says F it. And he didn't say F, he said the dirty word. F it. I don't like what the front office is doing, but it's working. What do I know? So
No goal.
Go or no goal.
No goal.
The front office clearly knows what it's. Well, no. What the front office is doing is clearly working.
No goal. And here's why. I agree. Like, I'm not trying to be pessimistic like Steve because he's, half glass empty, right? But the thing is we're overperforming, and I'm okay with it, right? And I'm not saying we're not a good team, but it's obvious when you've lost Klaus, Hartle, and Leuven, and the only thing you brought in is Hulsa. And I get Matan's kind of a fun little signing, right? But he's not at that level, right? He's kind of almost like a Vasilev level, like a nice, good TAM player.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. No goal.
Yeah. You lost 3. You let 3 DPs go in a calendar year. You've only brought in 1, and you promoted a player to another one. So we're forced into actually no, you know what? Oh my God. Who's the guy that they let go in the spring? Because he was also a DP signing. Who's the guy that never played? That he was heading, he signed as a DP player. I can't think of his name. He was there for just half the season and they let him go, but he was heading Cordova. So 4 DPs. Technically 4 DPs. And we've only brought in 1. Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
He was signed as
Side
a DP.
note, are you listening to Katy Perry?
I think it's on somewhere around. No, I had the actually I had the Moulin Rouge soundtrack playing. I thought I turned it off, but it apparently popped in somewhere. So yeah, I like Moulin Rouge. All right. So here's the thing. We got some follow-ups to that one though, because
really? Okay.
People lose their
Bring
minds.
it.
So the follow-ups, the first follow-up, River City Insurity says, at this point, they're showing why they get paid to do this.
Who's
the front office? It's a response to that front office. No, just wait. So the original comment was, F it. I don't like what the front office is doing, but it's working. What do I know? River City Insurity says, at this point, they're showing why they get paid to do this. And then the do on Discord says, wow, I want to be so annoyed with this team, but what the F?
Okay, so what now? So people are happy that Betcher's our striker. Like Betcher, I'll give him credit, right? Like he did a good job. Like I actually think he's a pretty decent soccer player, except he just doesn't have the talent of finishing, right? What do these people also want Betcher as striker now, just because of 2 games?
There's plenty of times where we see students that aren't good with complex emotions. And they can't carry multiple thoughts and multiple feelings at the same time. And I have a feeling that's a lot of these fans where they're just ignoring, they got that cognitive dissonance where, yes, Simon Betcher is our striker right now, but man, this team is really good. And it's just, they're not thinking on this hand, Simon Betcher is it. And that the team is going to say, well, we have Simon Betcher. Dude, what if they sign Simon Betcher as a DP?
No, that's stupid.
Okay.
Plus we have him under contract.
What smart stuff do we have on record for this team right now?
Yeah.
Tell me
the one thing I will say is, so the one thing I will say is that Ray does seem like he's a pretty talented sporting director. I will give him credit. I don't trust Diego because you can tell that there's a lot of fingerprints. Diego was responsible for signing Berkey to a DP deal, which I don't like. I love Berkey as like a player, like he's like a face of the team, but he's not DP. And it puts us in a bind. He was directly responsible for having Klaus leave. It just, I just don't have the faith. No, like I said, I'm not trying to be negative, but I just don't have faith in the front office as a whole. It's way too soon. Way too soon. You can't go after 2 months of a team and say the front office is somehow magical, right? Let's gauge like a year or two. Then, if you want to declare them champion, sure, right? Or if we win the cup, fine.
Yeah.
Steve will kiss Diego's feet.
Probably not. But you know what? I will probably give him a hearty high five. A hearty high five. You know, like you use the majority of your palm, you bam, and the person goes, God.
Huh. Is there more comments on that one?
No, I think we're good on that one. I've got a spicy take on the Leuven things.
Red Coat 92. Leuven just said goodbye to the supporter section, banged the drum, and got tossed in the air by the team. Cryy face. Goal or no goal?
Full ass effing no goal. Okay. This man is leaving a team that he wants to. He gets to bask in the glory of not having to play tonight. And then everyone gets to, give him a hero's exit as he goes to make more money and just live his life the way he wants. What we're supposed to congratulate a person for moving away from us. This is the best fan of baseball stuff. He's just a sports guy.
I'm gonna have to say goal though, just because he does have a lot of history here. There was a lot of good memories with him. The one thing I will say, it's not his fault. It sounds like the team did not want to negotiate until after the summer transfer window, and he didn't want to put his hopes on it. I don't blame him, right? Like, if I was at a job and I go to my job and I say, hey, I want to negotiate, and they kind of dismiss me, of course I wouldn't want to stay here. That's not his fault.
Not that worried about him. Sorry. People are gonna like that take.
Ooh, spicy.
I know what teachers make, and I know how hard we work, and people are praising and getting all caught up. I think that's it. We've got weeping emojis on Discord about this guy leaving. Weeping emojis, and he's leaving a team. He doesn't know you. That's parasocial. But yet you're getting emotional because he's leaving to go to a better team? Nah, man. Spicy take. Thomas Welch, come on in.
All right, what do you got?
Oh, man. How do I come back from that? How about this? Trademark on Discord says, damn, we really struggle in the midfield to defend against counterattacks. We should make sure we have them and hold on to strong players. So their take was struggle in the midfield to defend against counterattacks. At least tonight.
Absolutely. Absolutely goal. And I'll be honest, I know you're going to love this take, but we really actually missed Durkin in the midfield.
Yeah.
Durkelman has actually been a great midfield for us.
Yeah.
I know Matan was there. I think Matan's better served up top.
Yeah.
Where like he was like maybe him and Hulsa playing up there.
He seems like a lunatic.
I'm okay with him playing there in a pinch, which is what we did tonight. But it's obvious that the Durkin Edelman combination is just chef's kiss, you know?
Yeah, I'm so going to miss Durkin and Leuven in that midfield. Like, I think Edelman's, he's a young cat. Let's be honest. He's super young, and I think he's going to be there. I think Durkel Edelman, I'm not going to say the name. I think Durkel Edelman is going to be great, and I think they already are.
You said Durkelman?
I don't know.
Is that what you said? Durkelman?
See, when you say it, my brain says, that's dumb, and he separates it into Durkel Edelman automatically. It's fun. It's like an autocorrect in there. Durkel Edelman. See? It's like an autocorrect. It's so cool because I can do it properly.
Oh, man.
But I agree with that. That's definitely a goal. You saw it tonight. There was a lot. I think there's a lot of their attacks that came from loops in the midfield. Yeah. Yeah. I don't have any more goal or no goal because the majority of them were woohoo, were the greatest thing, and weep. Leuven doesn't want to play for us anymore. Like, That's what I'm seeing on social media tonight.
Yeah. So just right before we go, I want to ask you one question,
Ooh, ask me anything.
and just kind of parting
Oh, it's the
thought.
DMA.
What do you think of Hulsa so far? Because this is our big DP signing so far. What do you think?
I don't know. He had a corner. I saw at least one corner tonight, and it was okay. I personally really liked his hard tackle that got him the yellow. He's not afraid to go out there and do that already. He was out there for like 2 minutes. He just mugged that guy. And it was a clean tackle. Yes, it was a yellow, but it was a clean tackle, and he's showing that he's just there to
I
play.
think I can't remember if it was that one or Totland's that they looked even for, like there was a quick VAR review for a red card. I think it was Totland's.
That looked like it.
Yeah,
That's the kind of
I think you're right.
slide. That's the kind of slide where your studs up. But he had him down.
Yeah.
And it looked like when just as soon as you see him sliding, like, oh God, it's gonna be studs up. You just know it, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
But his way, he just hit the guy's foot and it was perfect.
You will find, I promise you this, when we get Hulsa actually playing 90 minutes, you're going to find that his passing is going to be by far the best on this team. And I'm going to argue that his passes will probably be the best that City's ever had. I think he's going to have that kind of control. Like we're starting to see some of that right now. But unfortunately, we're only seeing him for, 20 minutes at a time. You're not getting the full flavor. But I think once we start seeing him play games, mark my words, he's going to be the best passer in City history.
Well, let's hope the team doesn't get rid of someone he might pass to, because that's what they're doing right now. Let's hope that.
Oh, at this rate,
real quick,
Hebert's going to be starting.
I don't know if he's allowed. I don't know if he's actually allowed to play. He might just have a stipulation in his contract that he's just always going to be on the bench. And if they ever start to call his numbers, like, I didn't even bring my shoes. Like, when does the window actually close? September, first week of September?
Yeah, it's like the 6th or something. It's coming up in like 15 days.
Unless this team has an iron sealed, leak proof way that they're doing business. At this point, I don't see us bringing a striker in. So how does your grade of the team change if we go through this and we do not bring anyone else in, and this is what we got for the rest of the season? Because I think all this optimism is like still holding on, like there's someone coming. And I don't think there is.
Yeah, because the worst case that they need to do at a bare minimum is get a loan or something. They have to augment it somehow. Like, get us a TAM level player at a bare minimum, like as last resort. I don't want them to get just any DP striker because they're just like, oh, we got to get something for fans. And then they just like pick the first thing off the shelf that they get, right? Like, I don't want them to sign us into 3 or 4 years of a striker that's just not going to work out. That's not who they actually want, to be honest. That would be the worst case scenario. Second worst case scenario is them not doing anything.
I don't know, man.
The best case, yeah.
I mean, for me, the worst case scenario is this team not communicating, which is what they're not doing. They're not telling us their vision and then not doing anything and then making the fans put up with it. Like, if they were communicating, this is our vision, this is what we want to see, but we're not seeing anything. And I really think that we're going to be fed that Simon Betcher is the future of our team. We just got to fix them because we're not seeing anything. And we're just letting these guys go. Right now we have I guess we have technically two DP slots because Berkey is always going to take one now. And so they're going to say we have 2 DPs.
Yeah.
I don't think so, man. I would love to be proven wrong. We wake up tomorrow and there's a signing coming in from somewhere, but there's not enough good players in the MLS to justify an MLS trade. Right. You never know, but they're not showing us. And by the way,
Steve,
like you're right. If
Yeah.
they announce this week a DP signing, TAM level signing, whatever from overseas, we're looking at easy October before this person is even here and getting ready to make a splash. And we've got another barely a month of the season at that point. The season's over.
And that reason right there is why they might wait to the winter window, because, you know, by the time they get here, get fitness ready, they're not playing 90 until October. So the only thing you hope for is a playoff run. And is it worth just picking up the first thing off the shelf? To be determined, Steve. To be determined.
This team is always going to play we have two or three more cycles. It's the healthcare plan is 2 weeks away. It's like they keep going pulling the rug on us, man. It's always 2 weeks away. All right. Well, this is it seems like a downer. Like we won against the number one team in the West, but I'm like, I hate Leuven. This team sucks. Everything is just awful. And it's not. It's really not. I want to try to be a realistic here. Like, again, take the win. We're in 6th place. It's awesome. But like, I think that's it. I think I heard someone say, like, when you're arguing with someone, everything you say after the word but is garbage. So maybe I need to stop saying but. I have to start saying and.
There you go.
And
there you go.
We are probably going to do really well in 6 years. So,
yeah.
But tonight,
Steve, you're a great co-host, but you know, you could be pessimistic sometimes.
Yeah. I get
on that note.
I get that. I get that a lot. I get that.
All right, Steve. Take us out, bro.
All right. We're looking around and we're like, Chris Durkin, where'd you go? And he's in the corner going, I'm not doing it tonight. And we pull him over here. We give him a big hug and we go, Simon Betcher's over there. And we go, oh, First City, baby.
Yeah, Chris Durkin is definitely the one in our class that got suspended.
Yeah, he's suspended. He got caught selling cigarettes.